When we talk about engaged feedback, I think that's when we move from the traditional notion of feedback, which at its best traditionally is where the student receives comments that are to some degree useful from the academic, but they're still a one-way communication. They're usually in writing, and they have to be read, they have to be understood, and then they have to be acted upon by the student. Now, often many of those things don't happen. So the comments come too late, the students can't be bothered to even go and pick up the piece of work and read them. Even if they do pick it up, and even if they do read them, they can't see any opportunity to put them into practice, so they're not going to read them very carefully, and they're certainly not going to engage with them. So engagement is about moving beyond that fairly ineffective one-way communication. And engagement is about getting the students to truly interact with the issue of feedback, the quality of their work. David Nicol from Strathclyde famously says that if we want feedback to be effective, we need to move beyond trying to make it a better monologue and make it into a dialogue. And I think this is a really useful concept. And he goes beyond that to remind people that a dialogue, strictly speaking, is more than two people. It's not about making it a better conversation with the member of staff, which would technically be a duologue. It's about a wider, broader conversation. So it's student with other student. It's about a community discussion around standards, around what the criteria mean, etc. So engaging students with feedback, it's not new. I mean, everyone has undoubtedly heard of and maybe even had a go at self-assessment, peer assessment, etc. But it's about doing those things in a systematic and concerted way from day one when the students arrive. So it's about using marking exercises, getting students using criteria, talking with other students about what do these criteria mean, is this a good piece of work against that criterion, etc. That's what engagement with feedback looks like. And it links to that third purpose of assessment, in that it's not only going to make the students' work better because they understand the criteria, it's going to give them those skills, help them develop those skills, the sustainable assessment, the assessment literacy, which they can then build on and take with them.